can't do it right, eh? And you're complaining, all upset. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, in a monsoon, Cam can't throw a pick. He can't fumble a ball. Nothing. Ravens 6-2. Thought it was a sure
Hey, what's
Hey,
thing.
up, man?
Lee. I think Lee is he's here, but he's there. He is. There he is.
Now we're in
What's
it.
up, buddy?
How you doing, man?
Good. Yeah, man. Oh, hard week this week, man.
Reed, you and Lee know each other?
Hey,
No, I
man.
don't think so. Lee, what's happening,
No,
brother?
no. So Lee Reed. Uh, Lee's
How's it
still
going?
he's still currently serving, and he's the current heavyweight wrestling champion for the Canadian Armed Forces wrestling
Nice.
and the heavyweight division.
Is
Reed
there
is
is it freestyle or Greco? What are we talking about?
So basically, to kind of sum up, my base is freestyle Greco. The way the military does it, it's called combatives. So essentially, you put on the relish pants, you wear a rash guard, so almost reverse sambo. And honestly, Brazilian no-gi jiu-jitsu, sambo, wrestling, freestyle, points for takedown, sweeps for reversal, 5-minute match, and then obviously tap, Kimura, key lock, no wrist locks, no pressure points, no striking.
Matches?
Again, matches, about 5 minutes, about 5 minutes. Again, all scored by
I mean,
points.
wrestling shoes, like footwear.
No, bare feet.
Like it. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
Nice.
So Reed, Lee and I, we knew a guy that just took his life last week Tuesday.
God, Jesus. Sorry.
And-
Sorry to hear that, boys.
Yeah, and Reed, we know a guy about a year and a half there to do the same. And basically, we were talking about raising awareness about just suicide prevention. I mean, even especially with veteran suicide prevention there. So I know that I don't even know if I can mention his name there, Lee. I don't know about the family as far as that's concerned.
I'm
but-
a little hazy right now. Like,
yeah.
to be fair though, like we've been I've been sharing his photo all over. Like people have been sharing his photo all over Facebook.
Yeah, and they have a GoFundMe there for his children.
Yeah.
So it's on our Facebook site. I implore you to please go check it out. Donate. Always sad to hear that, but I'm really glad that you came on, Lee, just to share really in that, and also to bring a little spice here. We have, yeah.
No, this definitely hits close to home. Not only again did we lose our fallen comrade, for my team Crusher Combat, one of our friends, my friend Ian, we actually, while I was deployed on Op Laser, he was another one that OD'd. So again, I love. This is the second person in the last 6 months that I've lost.
Oh man.
Yeah,
And
sorry
it's
about
Sorry
that.
to hear that, Lee. That's terrible.
Yeah. But thanks for coming on there, Lee, for sure.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So Reed, if not, a lot of people don't realize this. Reed is actually a retired MMA fighter. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
He says, yeah.
Reed,
You can actually Google it. It's I'm on ShareDog.
sure. No, okay.
Everyone sees me these days. They're like, no way.
Oh no, dude, I
7
believe it.
years ago, that was a lean, mean fighting machine over there. Still,
Yeah,
I remember
absolutely.
when we were trading. Remember that we were on the ship, we're trading, and I'm lifting, but you were doing these crazy cardios, like in between rounds. You're there, it's hitting the bag. Then down there, it's like, hey, throw this medicine ball on my stomach. Huh?
Yeah, man, gotta stay tight.
Gotta stay tight.
That was more for you. I felt like it was like spice it up for Shano there.
That was Sean's kink, was throwing medicine balls at people.
Yeah, I know he was hungry for it, so I was like, I'll give him one.
Oh man. So we're just talking some football there, Lee, just earlier. I still can't believe this, Brad. I can't believe this. How is it? So the team I did not think that was going to win wins, Cleveland. I had no idea that they were going to win that one. And I think that's the first time since 1966 they were saying that two running backs ran over 100 yards each
Whoa.
from the same team.
Oh no, I don't think that's right.
Which game was this?
Cleveland
and
Browns and Houston Texans.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
10-7.
I
This
think that
Sunday, so
Rashad
yeah, no,
Penny and Chris Carson did it last year. Maybe I feel like that was familiar, but maybe not. Sorry, Lee. I didn't mean to cut you off, buddy. Go ahead.
oh no, no. I said I missed this. No, that's good. Give me the stats. I missed this Sunday, unfortunately, but no, that sounds legit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Reed was complaining that his Patriots won because I think they're going for draft picks.
Oh, see, that's the thing. It's like,
Belichick doesn't have it on.
I know the Patriots won because one of my best friends is a Ravens fan, and I had to hear it all day today at work.
Oh, it was like me.
I'm in the same boat as your buddy Lee. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe even more so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
a
here-
lot more so.
Here I was. I'm there. I'm talking to one of my bosses, and he goes, "Oh yeah, how was that Buffalo game?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You're mentioning that right now? Like, you're mentioning that?
That Buffalo,
how do you
that
think
Buffalo
it
game
was?
was awesome. That game was awesome.
It was a great game.
Kyler
It was
Murray,
a
holy
great
cow.
game. I could not believe that, man. Well, it just shows you Josh Allen with the 2 interceptions really could. He could have got away with the first one. That second one was a backbreaker when you're just dealing with a close game like that.
Sean, what do we tell you every week? Brad, you need to say it again? Like, how many times we got to say this?
I just said
Josh Allen sucks. You know? What are you going to do?
I
Well,
can't
and
do
then,
this.
yeah, my
it was
little-
the most. It was the most.
there comes to
It was the most Sean responses. At halftime, he's like, "I think I got this thing in the bag," and then it started turning. He's like, "I think I went too soon. I think I said something too soon."
That's exactly. That's
He's
exactly.
like, "Oh no, it's getting away from us."
I'm texting Brad. It's like we got this in the bag.
And then it was
Wait a
quiet.
second. I
Real
spoke too
quiet. And I
soon.
go, "Hey, buddy, I'm just checking in. Are you all right?" And he was like, "It was a good game."
That was like watching DK Metcalf. You know, just
Yeah.
trying to walk it in and getting the ball punched out.
Oh,
Sean was DK Metcalf. That's the only time you'll be able to get that comparison in. The only time.
The only DK comparison you'll give him is that one.
Wow.
I'd take it if I were you, Sean.
I'm taking it. Yeah, I am. He's a freak of nature. What were you saying there, Lee, man? You were saying something there.
Oh no, that's good. I just wanted to get my we're going to talk about a little sports, little hashtag UFC. My boy Rafael dos Anjos,
Yep.
Scott fell back to the 155 division and got his win over the Irish Dragon. So credit to my boy. I'm a big RDA fan, and he didn't have a good time at the 175 division.
No,
So
Yeah.
no,
he looked real good at 155.
He looked
yeah,
real
no,
good.
that's where he's meant to be.
Paul Felder, like,
when he initially went up to 170, RDA looked great, right?
yeah,
And we've seen this a couple of times. But then once he acclimated to the weight class, I think, and carrying that extra weight and stuff like that, you could tell it's been a problem. So making that change going down to 155, I think he made the right move, and
Yeah.
it showed.
No, I completely
Paul
agree.
Felder's game.
hey, mad respect to Paul Felder for taking a fight in 5 days' notice.
Yeah, he was.
He's
been
been talking a lot of shit to Dana White about how he always stays ready. So Dana,
He looked it.
he
I mean,
did.
he looked
He
it
did.
seriously.
And
Yeah,
he's one of the few guys that actually made weight for that card. That card was atrocious.
Yes.
If you check
Yeah.
Google,
He made weight and he took that thing into the fifth. That's a long ways, man, on a 5-day run. Like
Oh yeah.
a lot of
and
respect
that's
for Paul.
that spinning elbow he did in the first round. I thought, interesting.
Yeah. It was.
I think
No,
I was more relieved to see RDA throw those takedowns because again, I've been watching that guy just get smothered by Usman and Edwards and all these guys.
Colby Covington, all
Yeah.
those wrestlers at 170.
Exactly. The guy has literally probably spent like 25, like 75 minutes just being pushed against the cage and just human blanketed. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Uh,
So even just to see him score the takedown, I was like, yes.
Yeah, that's a hard 75 minutes, and that's a really. If the division was from like 5-6 years ago, I think RDA would have had a better time. But right now, there's just smothers, like just those guys
it
weigh
is-
like a blanket.
It's mothers, and
Yeah.
they're good. Like they'll telegraph you, they'll email you exactly what they're going to do, and then they'll go do it.
There's no champion now in that division right now either, right? Like it's wide
That
open after
Right now, it's
Yeah.
Usman. Usman's he's the king. He's the master.
155.
Oh, sorry.
no,
Right now,
yeah.
155. Yeah, sorry, that's fake.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. Yeah, 175. Yeah, I know Usman's the king there. Yeah. So I have to be honest, I'm not exactly rah-rahing UFC 255. It hasn't really cranked my bell
No,
there.
this one's not blowing my skirt up.
Yeah,
I was amazed to see that main event. Honestly, I was kind of like, there was more intriguing. Like Paul Craig, the Bear Jew, is going to be fighting. That's always a good time. I think he's got a good opponent. I can't remember who. Love seeing that dude. Like a guy that big that can sub. Always fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
The main event is not crazy intriguing, and maybe shame on me for not paying better attention. But I'm looking at that. I'm like, man, you got to have a name up there in the main.
Yeah.
It is
all
not to say-
that means
yeah.
to me though is that there's going to be at least 2 absolute wars in that main.
Yeah,
on the
it's
main.
probably gonna be.
We will not. We won't know who it is going into it.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned about all those non-hypey cards. You know, where you're like, man, someone's losing some blood.
It's
Although
true.
And the thing with this is like it's not as marketable only because again, kind of like what's with the 155 right now, 125 got cleared out because for the longest time it was Demetrius Johnson. Then when he got swapped to 1, Henry Ceruto was the guy kind of running the roost and doing like the 2 title
And then
fights.
he just retired. Then he just like, I'm done.
Exactly. He's like abracadabra, homie. So that's the thing. Once again, now you have a 125 that went kind of like, okay, we know Henry, we know Demetrius. Who else is in here?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ergo 255.
I'll tell you right now what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that free fight the week after with Curtis Blades and the Black Beast there. That looks like a banger. That looks like a banger.
You mean Derek Lewis fights all the time? I
Yeah.
love that guy.
I love it. And then
Curtis Blades is such a dangerous wrestler.
he
But
is.
he's also got a bit of that knockout power of himself as well.
It's a great match, I think.
No, that's the one. No offense to the pay-per-view. That's the one.
I feel you. That's 5 rounds of like some good heavyweights there, right? And then the next one there, and I'm obviously gonna be watching everything, right? But the next one that really intrigues me is Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor too, because it's like this is a different Dustin Poirier coming down to that octagon this time.
Easy, man. Like leaps and bounds with Dustin Poirier that fought McGregor before.
Yeah, that's black belt Dustin Poirier now that we're gonna see against McGregor.
Yes.
And I just hope that Dustin brings it and just wipes him up. I was telling Sean earlier, I hate the fake retirement. The fake retirement irritates the shit out of me.
Even worse than that is the fucking advertising of the donating to a charity. And he just keeps going on with it. Like he's brought it up several times now in like big tweets. It's like, shut the fuck up and donate. We know what your contract is. You're not impressing us with this. You've got all the money in the world. Like just shut the fuck up and fight and then donate it quietly.
He has a pretty good whiskey too. That whiskey isn't that bad. I've had it.
that whiskey sucks. That whiskey sucks.
Listen, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
You're drinking Conor McGregor's whiskey is similar to you buying a jersey. Like you can't buy a Conor jersey, so you're just gonna buy his whiskey. Is that what we are?
Listen. That drives me crazy. It's just the rankings. The fact that like he doesn't fight. He just like holds on.
He's still number 11. He's still number 11.
And the thing is, his only win in like the last 2 years is at 175 when he fought Cowboy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He fought.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that fight.
Raise your hand if you haven't fought Cowboy in the last 3 years. Like,
and then got high ranked at 155. Like,
Cowboys fought everyone the last 3 years.
Yeah.
No, true. But I hate you win a fight in one division and that somehow magically ranks you up, like for a title shot or what.
Look at the Leon Edwards situation.
Yes.
Right? They stripped his ranking.
Yeah.
It was crazy because due to inactivity, it's like Conor McGregor swims in and out of retirement over and over again. It's like,
and he's still number 11. Hehe's number 11 in the pound for pound.
What the hell is going on?
Oh, Lee, I am so glad. I'm glad you're here because I did want to. I remember when you were on the podcast and you gave the Justin Gaethje prediction, right?
Yeah.
Were you shocked at how Eddie? Oh my gosh! Excuse me, everybody. I'm thinking about skiing, 1984 Olympics. Eddie the Eagle. I'm thinking about Habib the Eagle and Nurmagomedov.
Why are you thinking about Olympic skiing?
Because that was the first Eagle. That was the first eagle when I was a
No,
kid. So
no.
Eddie
Sean,
the Eagle.
Sean, are you having a stroke? Do you smell burnt toast? Like, what's going on? What the fuck is that?
Khabib, though, were you shocked at the domination there? Like that was pure schooling. That was schooling.
Yeah, that was a clinic.
I was definitely shocked, but honestly, and I did kind of mention this, like we talked about, like the father, would it be a handicap or would it actually like bring him to level like damn? And honestly, and in his mind, like clearly that guy had it planned that was going to be his last fight, right? Because as he announced in this little speech afterwards, so having known now that like he went in there knowing that was going to be his last time in the octagon, no, now like you know what, like first pops. The last one for his dad, undefeated.
Yeah.
No, I'm not surprised now that
Yeah.
And now that it all came out, and having a broken foot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever had a broken foot, but it's terrible. And just the thought of walking on it with no tape makes me want to cringe. Like, let alone going and fighting is. Man.
Oh yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah,
Insane.
not-
He's a grown up. Like that's we're all just children.
Yeah, we're fucking babies. We're babies compared to
that
most people
guy's tolerance level. There's no way.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
You think about how hard the country of Dagestan is, and he's the hardest. Like that's terrifying. That is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
No, it's
Do they have Starbucks there? Like what the fuck?
in Dagestan. I don't think so.
Jesus.
They drop it from an airplane that flies over every day because they're too scared to stop them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, anyways, though, Eddie the Eagle, I'm sorry. That was the first Eagle to me because I remember he wasn't representing, well, he was representing Great Britain, but nobody was paying for him to do these jumps. So,
all right, Sean,
all right. Let me give you
That's
some
a
context.
disservice to Randall Cunningham and everyone that's ever come before him.
All right, let me give some context here. So we're going back to what was this? 1984 was that Winter Olympics there? I think
you were 45 years old.
I was, so I was 12 at that point, and I remember my cousin.
You're like a metal boy. Is that what
no. So my cousin was getting ready to fly back to Fiji at that point with their mother. He was born in Canada, and they were going back to Fiji, and so there's so many stories about us growing up.
Great water.
It is. It's blue, so blue. Anyways, though, he jumped. What he was doing is like he would always jump everywhere. And one time he jumped, and back then the furniture used to have the really thick corners.
Did he jump out of the airplane? What do you mean?
No. He was jumping. He was jumping down our stairs, our flight of stairs, and he kept saying he was Eddie the Eagle jumping down the stairs, right, over and over. And then one time he jumped and he hit, the beam, the 2x4 beam right at the top of the stairs. That was
probably bigger than 2x4 if it was a beam, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, 4x4. I'm sorry. You know what I'm talking about. It's holding up the other stairs going in. Anyways, he jumps down. He smacks that. He goes right down. It was like, oh my God. Eddie the Eagle just got smacked, right? And so then I'm looking at him. I'm like, are you okay? We had to bring him to the hospital. He still ended up flying, but that was a big question. I was like, can they fly? Can they fly back to Fiji?
Is your cousin's name Eddie?
No, he's Ron. But
I'm still trying to figure out what the tie-in is here.
Because he kept on calling himself Eddie the Eagle because he was jumping down the stairs.
I think you purposely set up Lee with that question so you could sit there and accidentally Eddie the Eagle.
If he did, it's genius if he did. Like it's brilliant if that's how he got there.
Sean's playing chess over here. He's not playing checkers.
Boy, I was so offended by my Khabib comment. He's like, I'm a grown up. Watch this. Watch these mental gymnastics.
Oh, well played,
Put
Sean.
on my ballet slippers and toe dance around him.
Oh man! So what's happening with Brock Lesnar? I have no idea anymore. He's not in the WWE. He's not in the AEW. He's not in the UFC.
He's probably at home drinking his Bud Light, sticking some Mexican pharmaceuticals in his ass.
Yep, pretty much.
Getting ready to go sit in a deer stand and shoot some shit. That'd be my guess.
I'd hate to be that deer stand. Hate to be that deer stand.
Oh my gosh. All right. So how did you feel about right now the NFC West. 6-3 all about. I'd say Arizona's number one now.
Nope.
Or
Three-way
just
tie,
about.
son. Three-way
It's
tie.
a three-way tie.
Yep.
But Arizona's got the tie break. If you think about it, they beat you guys.
Once. We got another game Thursday night. Let's see what happens. Listen, the only saving grace that I can hold on to is that Russell Wilson loves to be the underdog, and he's now being the underdog. He plays like shit every time he's the MVP frontrunner.
So I think he has 10 interceptions on the season so far, and it's from what I was hearing, it's one off from his all-time season high.
He has 5 in the last 2 games.
I know it's bad,
and they're not good ones.
Yeah, I mean,
a little cute ball. He could have ran that ball in and say try to get cute, throw a no look Patrick Mahomes thing, whatever that was, got picked off. Like all that matters. And as bad as the defense is, we're not losing by a lot when we play. It's we can pin him on Russell.
But did you kind of see this coming though? Like the torrid start he got off to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those numbers just are not fucking sustainable, and there had to be some regression of some sort.
No,
I don't know about 5 picks in 2 games, but
yeah, your defense is just
listen. You can go back and look at it. Go pull the stats up from the last 3 years, right? Since him and Sierra got married. This is the time of year where it sucks for him, and it's her birthday and Halloween, and he has a bad 4-week run. Not even bullshitting. I wish I was making it up.
So it's his spouse's fault?
He thinks that Sierra's goodies are his goodies, and they're not. And I think it just all comes flying back to him during her birthday.
Oh my gosh. That's
Holy
the best.
shit.
That's the best excuse I've heard so far. And I might actually buy it.
That video wasn't free. We've all seen that video. That shit wasn't free.
Yeah. A bunch of times in like 30-second increments for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works.
I was a 14-year-old boy when that one popped, and a lot of lonely days in my bedroom. I'll tell you that much.
Yep. Not so lonely with Sierra.
Sorry,
Russell.
Oh man. So Lee, I mean, I know there's no CFL, but I don't know if you've been following NFL at all this year.
I've been I know enough just to get by. I'll be honest. Like, yeah.
So does Sean.
I know enough to go down. I don't. I'd be talking out of my ass if I was like, oh yeah, I know that run. With the, yeah, no, man. I've been a little bit out of the NFL loop. I'll openly admit it.
It's all good, buddy. You know why I love Lee? Because he is a diehard Argos fan. He doesn't shy away from it. This is an Argos fan, right? Argos.
Bring back CFL for the love of God.
We need some CFL here, man. I missed the Grey Cup. I mean, I'm sorry.
No, man,
the
NFL, but it's our football, man. Like it's Canadian
It is.
football.
I get it.
It's yeah, man. Like there's a little bit of pride there, or at least I like to think so.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, think
As
about
long
it.
as it's
We had
yours.
Rocket Ishmael, we had John Candy, Wayne
Listen,
Gretzky,
I was
and
in
Bruce
middle
McDonald as
school when
owners.
Rocket Ishmael made that move. You can't be claiming Rocket Ishmael at this point because that man.
But that was all during that same time period. That was all during that same time
It was
period when
22 or 23 years ago.
well, it's actually closer to 30. But that's we're talking about Bruce McDowell, Wayne Gretzky, and John Candy, all 3 of them owning the Argonauts. That was huge at that time. You had Uncle Buck, the greatest hockey player in
Who's
the world.
the better owner, Drew Carey or John Candy?
Who does Drew Carey own?
The
Is it
Sounders.
Cleveland?
No, the Seattle Sounders.
Oh, well,
It's pro
obviously-
soccer. Pro soccer is making an appearance because we're talking about the CFL. We might as well talk about the other bastard child league.
It is what it is.
You're right. It is what it is. I love the MLS too, but shit.
I do too. Yeah. The other, listen, I'd have to say they're both about the even par, right? Because they both have championships.
Yep. Cleveland
Just
rocks.
John Candy sold it a little quicker there, after Bruce McNall was bankrupt.
Yep.
Hey, just to kick it out of the night, when's the last time you guys saw a team with a sub 500 record favored over a team with a winning record?
Today, I guess.
Yeah. Minnesota, 3 points.
That's insane. How many wins does Minnesota have?
3. They're 3-5.
And Chicago's what, 6-3?
5-4, this says.
That's crazy.
I don't know what
I
to say
just
about it.
I just hate when they have divisional matchups like this on the Monday night game. Like
Yep.
it's like because you're just blocking out most of the people. Like who gives a fuck?
This
Like
game is
Minnesota,
in
Chicago.
This game is in Chicago, and they're not the favorites.
Insane. That's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, dude, they canceled Thanksgiving. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck Chicago. They're not gonna have a Thanksgiving. Fuck them.
Oh my!
If I was in Vegas, I wouldn't. Oh, yeah, I'd be like fucking Minnesota all the way. Fuck it.
Minnesota all the
Chicago's
way.
unstable.
Man. Oh my gosh.
Turducken for one.
Turducken. Oh, are they going to have the turducken on the field this year or no? They're doing Thursday night games, right? For Thanksgiving?
Yep.
Yeah, they can do the turducken. It's throw
Yeah.
a mask on it.
That's a time-honored tradition, man, the turducken. It's like,
Yeah, it's not gonna catch COVID.
no,
That's hot.
no. They just got to be 6 feet apart while they're eating that piece of leg, right? That drumstick there. That's...
Nah, they get tested every day. They're safe. They're fine. Nah,
Oh man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm nervous for the Bills not playing coming up this week and Miami having a chance to catch them. I'm nervous that
Sean, it's over. It's over. It's over. Your season's over.
no, man, it ain't over yet, man.
no, there's still games to be played, but being competitive, it's over. Like here comes the crash.
No, man, no.
If you
No,
look
I'm
at
not
it like,
accepting
but
this.
if with the exception of a handful of plays, right? If you throw out a handful of plays, the
Mhm.
Patriots are 6-3. You know what I mean? Like,
No, yeah, the Patriots have been
It's
they've been
fucking-
competitive. Yeah.
The
It's
thing about the
ridiculous.
Patriots that I think we've kind of talked about all along is, you're putting Cam Newton in a system he doesn't know about with
Yeah.
no offseason, no training camp.
Yeah.
Yep.
It should take a couple of games to get it going.
Yeah.
You add the injuries, you add all the guys that decided to not play. Right?
Opted out.
How many
Ridiculous,
defenders
eh?
did he have to
Wow.
opt out? 10?
It's like
Yeah, it
6
was-
cornerbacks.
It was a lot, right? It was 10
Yeah.
defenders opted out.
Yeah.
Wasn't
some
it?
absurd number. Yeah.
Some silly shit like that.
Man.
You can't count out, Belichick's going to get you.
No.
I did appreciate Kyler Murray doing his little Josh Allen touchdown dance last night. Though. I don't know if you saw it.
I did see that. I saw the whole thing, Brad. I saw
How,
the whole
how bad
thing
did that
happen.
hurt, Sean? How bad did it
Oh,
hurt?
it was bad. It was bad. I thought 34
Show-
seconds. I thought we had
Show
this.
us on the dial where Kyler Murray touched you. Okay. It's on the dial.
It's the same time when I was there. I'll never forget this. So Max was over at the house. We were watching Super Bowl. There was Max. There was Matt. There was Anto. A whole bunch of us West Coasters over there, Lee. And we're watching the second Super Bowl that Seattle went to against the Patriots. And I will never forget
Why
that.
you gotta bring up old shit?
Because, man, it hurt. It did. That's how it felt. That's how this felt. I'm watching that, and I see Pete Carroll, and I knew what Pete Carroll was thinking. He's going to throw this ball. He's not going to give it to Marshawn Lynch. And then the Patriots there, they pick it off. End of the Super Bowl. And all I'm thinking is and you see Pete Carroll's dumb look on his face, right? And it's like, I'm surprised it didn't work. It's like, no, dude, it didn't work. You're the number one rusher. Well, that's how I felt with that. Is how come is it you have everybody covering halfway 15 yards down the field and you only have 2 people in the end zone and Tre'Davious White had to run back to the end zone. You didn't have 3 people covering DeAndre Hopkins, a legend. Why didn't
there was 3
should
back
have been
there when
more
he caught
people.
it.
There was 3 people there, but one was still coming back, man. And he's 6'5". He was already taller. He was Godzilla, and the rest of them were just little tiny men. And he just
Hey.
went up and he grabbed
Hey.
that ball.
It's
he made
very
a big
sad
boy
to me.
play.
It's very sad to me that my worst moment happened in the Super Bowl, and your worst moment happened in Week 10 of the
Yeah,
2020 COVID season.
I was
No,
gonna say,
How is that the same?
That's
You
like
also
me
know.
it's like me stubbing my toe and understanding what it's like to fucking I don't know, be Abraham Lincoln's nephew when he got assassinated. What the fuck are you doing? I had to dig for a reference that wouldn't be offensive. And I don't know why I landed on Abraham Lincoln's nephew. I I was gonna go a much different direction, but I'm like, read the room, read.
Well,
That's all.
we kind
That's all I
of.
learned on Abraham Lincoln's nephew.
You,
I wanted much worse tragedies, but I didn't want to trigger anyone.
that was
I
actually
felt like
pretty
it's
good.
watching Anderson Silva snap his leg in half, and then you trying to control him by being like, "Oh, I stubbed my toe on the table one time when I was 18."
Yeah, Sean, that is the most fucked up thing you've done on this show. That's been present for. Like that was. You should be embarrassed.
I thought I would be wearing this Buffalo Sabres jersey, but
Nah, we're good at this point.
By the way, is that a Tyler Ennis jersey?
close.
Tyler Myers?
Yes.
Oh, was Ennis 53?
57. Yeah.
No, Ennis. Ennis was 53, right?
Yes. And this was
Well, Lee, are you also a Maple Leafs fan?
Yes, I am.
How do you feel about Sean wearing a Buffalo Sabres jersey right now, claiming to be a Maple Leafs fan?
Oh, you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess, for him. Like, if that's the way he wants to wear. But honestly, the truth of the matter is, I'm a hockey fraud, so I can't really talk a lot of shit. And that's
No,
the thing,
you-
like, yeah.
You can, Lee.
How many
Go for
other
it.
jerseys do you own, Lee? That's what I want to know. How many?
Oh no, just the Leafs jersey. Like that's
Thank-
it. Like,
thank you. Thank you. If you saw Sean in person, would you try to remove that jersey from his body?
I may. That's just to basically initialize the rest
I'm
of
glad
the
there's some distance between us there, Lee.
kind of like how Sean set me up for the Eagle. That's how I do. I'd go after that jersey and I'd say it's for hockey, but really just because I want to get a wrestling match in.
Yeah, let's see how effective Aikido is there.
There.
Against real martial arts. John can have his little sash on and his funny pants. And
Looks like a lad.
Oh my God. Arabian Nights.
He does actually look more like CGI Will Smith as the genie in Aladdin. I think they wore the same pants, so to be fair.
What is going on?
You ain't never had a friend like him.
That's true. I could sing that song every night after hanging out with Sean. Never had a friend like Sean.
Never had a
once.
friend, John.
Not once.
Do you remember the Philippines? Do you remember? Were you with us there in the Philippines when it was damn hot and I was wearing a tank top?
Every day, you mean?
It was wearing a
Fucking
tank,
Philippines.
tank top and like shorts, right? Like workout shorts.
Also,
we were
you
walk-
every day in the Philippines. Go on.
we were walking down. We were walking down a sidewalk, and the sir was with us, and just out of nowhere, we all because I was working out every day. Remember that I was working out every day there, and
Yeah,
out of the corner, it was like all of a sudden you hear "nice buddy," and I looked at the sir. I go, "I think he's talking to you." He goes, "Oh no, he's not."
no, he's not. He's talking to you.
And Reed used to get on me about these tank
Oh yeah,
tops.
because you're not telling the story. You're walking down. You're like, hey, how's it going? Hey, Sean Valancourt. Yeah, hey. Like you're a fucking celebrity. You were the largest person in the country. That's it. Like that's it. You didn't look that great, Sean. Like that tank top wasn't doing you any favors. You were eating it up like it was fucking crazy, like a buffet at a Golden Corral. It was hard to watch.
In the Valley of the Blind, he who has one eye is king.
There we go. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was just nipple high, looked as terrified of you.
Yeah. Do the Filipinos have their version of Godzilla? Because Sean was it that day.
Oh man, who are you calling me?
I literally saw a store owner close the shutters on the windows like an old Western movie, you know. Women were grabbing their children and covering their eyes.
Oh.
You know, it was brutal.
Do you remember that restaurant we went to in Japan where we had to be kneeling? We were all kneeling.
Oh, yeah, that's also every restaurant in Japan.
Pretty much. Like I had no idea, right? I always thought it was like Japanese village there in Victoria, right? It's like you just a hibachi house, right? Here we are, we're on our knees, we're eating, and I'll never forget Dave just ordering the steak, the hamburger up. Like all of us were eating udon and everything, and he got, I want a hamburger with fries,
Oh, hamburger with fries.
and he was deadly serious. He's like, yeah, I want a
Yeah, I
hamburger with
respect
fries.
It was
I
no
love
joke.
that.
We were
I
eating
loved
like
it.
squid with squid ink and shit, and Dave's over there like, "Oh, the hamburger with fries." Like, what the fuck? I'm like, Dave, what are you doing? It's not the place you go. When in Rome, dude.
When in Rome, too.
Oh,
Well said.
oh my God.
All right,
Well,
fellas, I got to bump out.
All right, man. Take
Y'all
it
next
easy,
time. Good to see
Brad.
your faces. See ya.
Who you picking for a
Vaya
winner?
con Dios.
It's Minnesota by a lot.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Sorry, Dave. Later.
Take
Later,
care.
Brad.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, I was having a look at that UFC card. It didn't really get me all going here, but I'll just have a quick look here again.
The prelims had some interesting ones. The main event at the bottom, the main card at the bottom, there were some fights I really gave a shit about.
Main card at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, just read through it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Mike Perry and Tim. I like Dirty Bird. I like Dirty Bird.
Platinum
Yeah.
Mike Perry, man. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
He just beat up
And-
an old man.
Yeah.
That's his girl,
And then Tim the Dirty Bird Means. I like him. I like him.
Yeah, Tim Means.
Yeah. He's a good fighter. Paul Craig.
Paul
Yeah.
Craig's my boy.
Against Mauricio Shogun Hua. That's actually a good fight.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. That's actually a good fight. But then
I thought Shogun's last fight was his last fight. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
shows how
Like,
much
what
we
the
know.
fuck?
Shows how much we know.
but you know what? The guy's got the passion. You know what I mean? Like he's always going to be like, I guarantee you, he's Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? He's known
Oh,
as
yeah.
like guy who kicks. He's been champion. Like he's worn the belt. So for him at this stage, as long as I'm, in these COVID times, if they're going to give him a pay and let him do what he fucking loves to do, then hey, more power to him.
Yeah, those shoot the box guys, like they need to be carried out in their fucking shield almost. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, no, agreed.
there's no
Basically,
retiring
the
for
way
those
Anderson
guys.
Silva was during his last fight.
Well,
Essentially,
that's it.
the
Yeah.
opposite of Anderson Silva's last fight.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was,
I don't-
that was hard to see. That was hard to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was. Yeah, definitely. And like we all knew it was happening. And even now, if you read like Dana White that's what pisses me off, man. Silva was a legend. Hall's no joke, but Dana White just tore Silva apart. And I even read up recently, Bellator won't even touch him. Bellator. And I was like, Bellator
Wow.
doesn't want you.
Wow.
Yeah, but he could bounce over to ONE FC no problem and probably make even more money than he did in the UFC his last couple of
Oh,
fights. So it's like,
Definitely.
who gives a shit? He's used to fighting in the Asias. That's where he made his name.
Yep.
So I don't, if he doesn't want to retire, I don't see him retiring anytime soon. You know what I mean? Like,
And the thing is, he's got nothing left. Like he had his stint, like Fedor Emelianenko and like all those guys did, where at one point you could have argued him the GOAT. Like honestly, like during his whatever you want to call it, his little reign. Like man, he had the stint, man, where you could argue him the greatest.
He was.
I
He
would,
was.
but some
At
people
that,
could.
at that moment, pound for pound, he was for sure.
Yeah, man, like that guy was untouchable.
when he was
Literally,
fighting,
Yeah.
when he was fighting Stephen Bonner and putting his hands down
Yeah,
and just looking off every shot, like I'm like, what the fuck? And Stephen Bonner hadn't been stopped until that point.
yeah, no,
Like,
yeah, no,
what the fuck?
absolutely. No,
He toyed with them.
he toyed with him. That was his thing, man. He was good. Now,
No, it
having
was
said
crazy.
that, I gotta say the flip side of the coin. It still is just Stephen Bonner. And the thing is,
That's fair.
to be fair to Anderson
fair.
Silva, the middleweight division was, I won't call it weak, but like you really got to look back, like, he was beating Nate Marquardt and Patrick Cote, and Patrick Cote was probably his toughest thing.
He
Travis
was at that.
Luter,
Yeah,
Ultimate
that was
Fighter
the
to come
toughest
back,
one at
you
that
know?
point. Yeah, Patrick the Predator. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
okay.
you know
Yeah.
that, right? Yeah.
So
I'm
so
not
again-
taking anything from his
and again-
legacy. It's
yeah.
just a combination. I think, yes, he was good, but he was also good at a time when the middleweight division was a touch
The middleweight division back then, two of the guys you just named, Patrick Cote and Nate Marquardt, Nate the Great Marquardt, they were 170s. They weren't even real 185s.
Yeah.
Like, that's the other crazy thing about the division at the time. They weren't even fucking really 185ers. Like,
Well,
it
who was
crazy.
the Ohio school teacher that was the champion there?
That was Rich Franklin.
Rich Franklin.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Jim Carrey. That's right.
me, myself, and Irene. Yeah.
But that's the thing is that like he was champ, and then it was Anderson Silva for a long while.
Like Franklin was doing, like, he was cleaning up the division, but he was like knocking out Nate Quarry. Like,
yeah.
And again, I don't want to go on your thing and start insulting all these fighters. I mean, they made it to the UFC better than I ever did. But that's his big thing. He knocked out Nate Quarry. Ooh, booga booga booga.
Nate Quarry was a guy who I think he was on the Ultimate Fighter as like a 155, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, and he was a guy that fought at 170. He went up to 185. Like, he had no business being up there.
No, not at all. And the thing is, too, you look at it like, I remember when Rich Franklin fought David Loiseau. And again, once again, and that's what I'm saying. Like, Rich Franklin was good at the time, well-spoken, very great athlete. But again, even his fight with David Loiseau, that was a 25-minute, like, tit for tat, man. Like, and you know what I'm talking about, right? So, and I'm just simply saying, yes, it was a different time. Like, Rich was actually known at the time. His biggest thing that broke him out was a win over Ken Shamrock. And that's because no one really knew who Rich Franklin really was at the time, right?
That's right.
He beat Ken Shamrock, and then, he kind of kept soaring. And again, I don't want to take anything away from the guy, but once again, compared to what it is now,
Yeah, you can't look at that and see the runs that some of the guys are making, like like the runs that like you can't talk about Khabib because he's just light years ahead of that. But like the dominance that Max Holloway's had for a while. You know what I mean? Like, he's in a much scarier division, much more talented fighters, like legit competition. Demetrius Johnson, same deal. You know what I mean? Like, Rich Franklin's run was a bum time for the UFC. He was light years ahead of what fighters were doing at the time. He was cross training appropriately. He had a jiu-jitsu guy. He had a Muay Thai guy. He had a wrestling guy. He was doing that shit that George St. Pierre really started doing as well. But the guy, at the end of the day, he was a very, very well spoken, as you said, Lee. Very eloquent. He was a mathematics teacher, a very smart, cerebral guy, which I think was great for the UFC. And I think the reason he kind of got projected up there as a bit of the poster boy for a while was they needed that image change. They needed some legitimacy.
No, you're right.
They
broke the stereotype of what the conventional fighter looked like. You know what I mean? Like, at the time, it was like you were either a wrestler that and then just beat people up, or you're that guy who's like, just let me fight, man. I've been fighting my whole life. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, Tank Abbott for the longest time was the most popular UFC fighter.
And you remember when it was all over for Tank Abbott is when Frank Mir was it. That was when Tank Abbott was over.
With the toe hold,
That was the toe hold. And Tank Abbott didn't even see that coming. And it was just like there's a whole new breed of fighter coming out.
And he was actually not wearing wrestling shoes for that one. And Frank Mir actually grabbed his big toe.
Yeah. But even with Tank Abbott, if you remember, even his fights afterwards, he even tried fighting. He had a fight against Chemo. Once again, I say it, someone who he should have been fighting. That was probably again from the golden era.
Right.
From the OG era. So I'm not saying he was an old guy, but those were two sluggers, two more old school guys. Yeah. And even Chemo had the ground game more. He had even evolved, and he dragged Tank Abbott and took out Tank. So
right,
what I mean, not only lose to the up and comers. He couldn't even fight against guys from his era per se. You know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, Tank. We always knew what he was. His line was, "I fell off the bar stool and into the octagon." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was a what was that fucking tough guy boxing?
Yeah.
What was that shit called? Yeah. You know what I mean? He was one of those guys.
Yeah.
That was with Butterbean and all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Ashe, the king of the 4-rounder. Yeah. Butterbean.
Yeah.
So it's it was a very weird time. You had these guys. Frank Mir was another one who was light years ahead of everyone else in the heavyweight division. You know, like Tim Sylvia was terrorizing everybody. Frank Mir went in there and fucking broke his arm in half.
Broke his arm. Yeah. That's right.
Like, it was terrifying. You got a guy in Frank Mir that big who is that good of a grappler. Like, it was unheard of.
Think about
Yeah,
Frank
no,
Mir, the
sorry.
people
You
he
said-
took down,
like
right?
that,
It's like
the primary submission guys you'd think of like, Hoist Gracie. Jiu-jitsu was known as like the thing the little guy used to beat the big guy.
to beat the
Yeah.
big guy.
The
Yeah.
big guy that can do all that same shit.
Yeah, that's exactly it. No, you're exactly right, and that's why I said that's when everything changed at that point. Then because it didn't matter, Tank Abbott, big bad man, you get caught in that toe hold, and I'll never forget that when Tank Abbott goes, "Oh, you come out to the bar and you try that on me, we'll see what happens." It's like
He would just
What
do
in
it
the
to your
world?
hair.
yeah,
You want to get caught in the toe hold at a bar? I mean, come on, it doesn't matter where you go.
Yeah, like I like that. Yeah, no, it's you're right. The Tank Abbott did Tank Abbott said a lot of stupid things. If you even go back to the Ultimate when Vitor, the steroid at the time, Bellator
Yeah.
came. No, I'm talking like this is 19-year-old with traps bigger than Tom Hardy's from Bane, and that thing. But I remember like Vitor's speed because he had knocked out a guy who was like 300 plus pounds, and he's celebrating, and then Tank Abbott's like, "Oh, you swear you just won the Olympics or something like that," because he was one of the commentators. I think it was the Ultimate. I'm trying to remember. It was like either UFC. It was one of the older. I think it was like the Ultimate. And again, that's when they first started incorporating different weight classes. And they didn't have the title. Vitor won the medal, but he had beat some giant 300 plus guy wearing spandex. And
I
Tank
think that might have been shit. It wasn't Paul the Polar Bear Violins.
No, but you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. It wasn't Tom Erickson. Shit. I know this. Fuck.
You recognize, what's what. Yeah.
Yeah. I 100% know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. I just can't fucking remember the name. That's going to drive me crazy.
Yeah, no. I'm going on the Google afterwards because it's going to drive me crazy.
Yeah. This
God,
is
if I
like an
witness,
itch I
I will
can't scratch.
That's all good, boys. Well,
Oh,
listen, I just wanted to thank you guys for coming on. It was a very special one there for us, and again, reach out. There's always somebody there ready to talk to you. You'll be surprised at how many people care. You'd be surprised how many people you actually might have influenced. And I'm probably going to be doing some brother checks coming up here in the near future as well. So, but thanks, boys. This was a great night.
Hey.
Subscribe, Guys Beer Sports. Follow us on Apple, Spotify, all those good places.
You got it.
Wait,
boys,
Sean, hold on a second.
Yes.
So my stud of the week, because this is Guys Beer Sports, so my handsome devil stud of the week is Dylan O'Brien. Loving Monsters. Just watched it the other day. I call him Dylan O'Sexy now, just for the record. So that's we talked about beer, we talked about sports. I talked about the guy. There you go. I had to dip it in
Oh, look
every
at
week.
that. I love it. And no competitions coming up for you, Lee, right now coming up? Or
You know what? The thing is, right now, there's a couple of competitions on the mainland, but that place is a hot zone right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm saying, everything from Langley, it's supposed to be in Port Coquitlam, but the truth is, I don't even want to put the memo, man, because everywhere from Langley to Surrey is just, man, it's all going bad.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Here on the island, I can actually say, because we're in phase 3, so we're allotted up to 10-person pods.
That's
So,
right. Yeah.
I'm blessed, man. Honestly, my brother's in the T-Dot. He can't even train bits
I
because that's
know.
not zone per se. We're like
Yeah.
here, I can actually I've got my pod of 10 dudes. Even Mike
It's the
Jorgensen.
same here. It's the same here in Nova Scotia. And it's only because we can control that border over there, right? So
Yeah.
So nobody of those Quebec plates are coming over, It's like
Hey,
Yeah,
Lee,
no.
Lee, you on social media? You
Yeah.
you put out your exploits on social media. All right, drop your handles so we can check you out.
All right. Sounds good, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, someone's got to produce this show a little bit
yeah.
here.
What is it? Lee Tebow on Facebook, right?
Yeah. Lee Tebow on Facebook. Trust me, my
Yeah.
profile picture is like all my grappling stuff and grappling with my brother. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Crusher Combat's where
Crusher
you train,
Combat,
right?
baby.
Yeah.
I'm always putting my little workouts are like, hey, yeah, good rolling with the boys, all that.
I
good
know.
shit.
So you see this guy, he's always big smiles, everything like that. And all you're thinking is like, boy, if that guy gets a hold of me, he's gonna drag me down.
That's Those are always the guys that gotta be afraid of. Those are
That's
always, the guy,
it. A big old
when-
smile.
when shit goes down, the guy who's smiling is when you have to be concerned with.
That's
Shout
That's
out.
all you know. That's all
You
you know.
understand what it is. That's the thing. I'm happy, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm not a violent. As before in the former podcast, won't go back to that. But I said I'm not a violent person. I'm a teddy bear. I just love competing and grappling and hugging other dudes and taking them down and passing their guard. Just puts a smile on my face. It's nothing
Amen.
personal. Just good business.
I love you, Lee.
Love
I
it.
love you. You know you're welcome here anytime, man.
Oh,
Anytime.
man, I appreciate it.
All right. All right, boys. We'll talk soon.